Jim heads to some remote areas of the coastal marshes of Georgia to try for some big redfish. For many anglers in the southeast, redfish are the ultimate fish to target because of the challenge they present. They're spooky, and they're often found feeding deep in the thick weeds. Of course, that's what makes the kayak so advantageous. With a kayak, you can cruise silently through the weeds and sneak up on them.
So we each brought about 4 rods with us, but they're all rigged up differently because there's so many different techniques to go for these fish. We've got a popping cork, we've got some stuff for the bottom, we've got some gulp, we've got some surface lures. Of course, got a few little side bets going on who's gonna hit the biggest fish, most fish, first fish, all that. I'm pretty much guaranteed to win all these bets, but I don't wanna, don't tell them I said that. I don't wanna put too much pressure on the boys.
Having gathered at the luxurious Eagle Island Lodge in the private islands of Georgia, the guys settle in to prepare their gear.
If they've only caught some little puppy drum, we'll try to get them at least in the 15-pound, 20-pound range.
We've only caught about 2 or 3 redfish, so I could easily double that today.
Although Georgia only has about 100 miles of coastline as the crow flies, a series of barrier islands provides protection for a 6-mile band of marshland that amounts to over 1/3 of the saltwater marshes in the East Coast, and a fisherman's paradise. Redfish are by far the most targeted fish in the area, and there's nothing that'll make a Georgian angler's heart flutter like the sight of a tailing red.
Yeah. No, actually, my plan is to try to put these guys on some fish today.
Fishing for reds isn't an easy task. It takes time to master this type of fishing, and Mike's experience shows as he spots a tail deep within the weeds.
We had this wicked weed bed, and we were going right into the weeds. The tide was up, so the water was right into the weeds, and the reds were right in the weeds feeding. So you'd have to pull yourself through the weeds. And it was actually the one time that the wind wasn't such a big factor because the weeds were stopping us from being blown off our position. So you'd pull us very slowly through and try to pick them out. It was all sight casting and very much like hunting. It was the first time that I had gone after reds and I knew they were spooky and I didn't know exactly what to look for. So I asked Mike. Mike was coming by and I said, Mike, how does this work? Give me some tips here. And he said, first of all, you got to put some stinky crab on that, some dead bait on that thing, because they'll sniff that stuff out, and then you can throw it a bit further away. Throw it about 10 feet in front of the fish, drop it, and just let it sit there. They'll find it. As long as you put it on their path, you make sure you know which way that fish is going. And as he was telling me this, all of a sudden, he just pops up and goes, tail, fish. Bam, fish on. The great thing was that, Murphy's Law usually states that the camera isn't going to be anywhere near us, but in this case, the camera was right there, and we got the full battle on film. But more importantly for me, I got to see the full catch to fight to release, and learned so much from watching that.
45 horsepower, she was 95 proof.
Okay, go get bigger, buddy. We'll see you next time. There you go. Watch out for the crab bait. Kick ass. There we go. Oh yeah. Come on.
To see the fish hone in and a fish that you've been watching and see it to come in onto your bait was so cool and an experience I've never had. I mean, I've had followers on surface lures and you're casting to boiling fish, but it wasn't like that because you were sitting there waiting and waiting and watching this fish. And what an exciting way to fish. And just really, it is hunting. I mean, more than any other kind of fishing I think I've ever done, this was really hunting.
I'd like to talk about my unbelievable fish. You know, I was following up with Randy yesterday and I saw Jim pass a section and I said to myself, that is prime fish territory, and Jim just drifted right on by. So I dropped that hook and bam, what do you know? I got the biggest fish of the day. It was like about that big.
You know, yeah, it all comes down to that. It's not really about the size of that fish, the quality of that fish. It's the fact that I caught a fish and Jim didn't.
A long day of tough fishing done, the boys once again head back to Eagle Island Lodge.
Andy Hill with Private Islands of Georgia, and have Eagle Island, which is a 10-acre island off the coast of Darien, Georgia, about 10 minutes east. We're about 60 miles south of Savannah and 60 miles north of Jacksonville, Florida, on the Georgia coast. And we provide round-trip boat transportation out to our islands from downtown Darien for our guests. And the lodge can accommodate 12 guests.
Well, we're the first, world's first 5-moon destination. And we're just a little bit sharper than 5-star. We couldn't be 5-star, so we decided that with our service and commitment to quality, cleanliness, and having the guest experience everything at their hands, that it would be a 5-moon experience. So we're a 5-moon rated destination. It's about you, the guest. Actually, we set the stage and you set the experience, the guest. So we want to have everything at the guest hands. So, for example, our 5-moon double-headed shower. If it's got 2 shower heads in the shower, it's 5-moon. You starting to get the picture?
Staying in the lap of luxury here at Eagle Island, and I mean every amenity, they fed us so well. They took great care of us. They have the jacuzzi up top and the screened-in porch all the way around, and they shuttled us around in their pontoon boats and followed us in the other support boat and ran us around, and I mean really worked hard to get to the right areas where we could get fish.
It's 5-moon. Right, exactly. So what we have created is a lot of nest and nooks and crannies for the people that understand and get it, and some don't. And so we want to cater to those people, and all others that don't get it, they'll come here and experience it for themselves. 5-star, looking for a manager, 5-moon, you are the manager.